At what point would you decide that maybe you should take some profit? How long can this continue for quarter-wise?
Yeah, morning, Bonnie. Yeah, it's, I mean, we're certainly, if you look at the sentiment indicators at the moment, there's quite a lot of euphoria around, short-term euphoria, not longer-term. We heard what Greenspan said this morning, but, certainly there's a lot of euphoria around, so maybe you get a bit of short-term selling. And I think people should use that as a buying opportunity, and that's very healthy in markets because it basically actually the sellers move from the weak holders to the strong holders, and that rotation. And the interesting thing, the rotation has been coming actually from tech stocks into the value stocks, which I've been talking for for some while. So yeah, short term, I'm sure we are going to get some weakness, but it's really earnings and the direction of those earnings that will underpin the market. So any weakness that we foresee, which is short term at Baird, we think you should be using that as a buying opportunity.
And then, Patrick, where are you looking outside of the United Kingdom and Europe?
Well, the emerging markets, China is continuing to look interesting. I mean, if you look at the emerging markets, they're up 25% this year against the S&P, which is up 12. So, that's actually almost double. So we continue to look at the emerging markets because the dollar, I think, is going to continue, to be stable, but it's not going to be strong. Oil, even though oil prices actually have recovered to over $50, they're still pretty low relative to where they were. So those two are very big drivers for emerging markets. So emerging markets is an area we continue to like as well.
The flip side of the dollar is the euro.
Yes.
We've seen euro and Euro stocks 50.
Sure.
They're diverging, aren't they?
Yes.
The strength of the euro is there a level or is there a pace of velocity whereby the strength of the euro casts a cloud over our assessment of European equities?
Well, I think later on in the year, I mean, Draghi was walking back, his view of tapering, and despite Yellen doing the same. There's only a 40% chance of rate hikes, I think, in December for the US. But she is, I think, much more firmly committed to tapering because the American banks are in a much better shape. So I think when they start to taper, which I'm not concerned about, and we can talk about that, I think what you might see is some of that pressure come off the euro because Draghi, I think, as always, Europe's always 2 years behind. So I think tapering will be somewhat, some ways behind the US, and maybe we'll get a bit of relief from the euro then.